I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking with Dr. Margery Runyan. She is a well-respected practitioner of Jungian psychotherapy and Medical QiGong, splitting her time between Colorado and southern France, with a particular focus on the unique psychology of twins, reflected in works such as her first book, Do Twins Dream Twin Dreams, and the newly released The Tao of Twins, a heroine's journey. She brings a deep and unparalleled understanding of twin dynamics to her readers. We are delighted to have this very thoughtful and articulate and eloquent author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Bridge Literary Media for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel. Doctor, so good to see you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege.
Oh, the privilege is all mine. I appreciate your time. What started or piqued your curiosity in studying twins?
Well, in the first place, I was born a twin.
Okay.
In fact, I was conceived a twin. My twin sister Melinda and I made a decision back in 1948 that we would come here together and that we would experience the twin world and take a twin journey together.
Wonderful.
And so we were born in Cincinnati, Ohio, and the rest is history. I'm now 75 years old. I spent 39 years of my life with my sister in the twin world, in that miraculous place, and 36 years now since without her. And so I've lived with a foot in each camp, shall we say, and the twin world is my favorite.
Were you guys fraternal twins or identical twins?
We were and are, I consider myself still a twin, identical twins.
Wow.
We share the same interests, the same mannerisms, the same aptitudes. We mirrored each other. We bonded together, never mind the parents, they're superfluous. And so if I ever wanted to know who am I, all I had to do was look at Melinda.
Amazing.
And so the identity struggles of singles, shall we say, are dissimilar from twins. We know already who we are.
Yeah.
And we can see, and it's the greatest privilege. We also have miraculous powers. We also can change worlds. We know that together we can trump any single, and that if we stick together and hold hands, that we will be able to do miracles at any time. And we did. We went through our lives enjoying that miraculous state.
Amazing, amazing. Twins, when I was growing up, were a rarity. There was maybe one set of twins in the entire school, maybe. Now every classroom has a set of twins because of the miracle of science. Is there a difference between these lab-created twins and naturally created twins?
Well, yes. Number one, the frequency, as you mentioned. Twins in 2015, I'm sure it was much less in 1948, were identical twins, 1 in 250 births.
Right.
Whereas fraternal twins, whether engineered in a lab or whether it's two eggs matching up with two sperms, are about 1 in 30 births in the modern world. And so there are quite a few more twins. Now, fraternal twins, of course, are a little bit different because they don't resemble each other any more than siblings would. However, genetically, they did spend that period of those 9 months bonding together. And many twin researchers will say that the bonding that took place in prenatally is the most significant aspect of twinship, that we have a long history together, beginning at conception, in learning how to, shall we say, share a small space.
Yeah, yeah. You're actually gestationally, intertwined for 9 months, which is amazing. And we know how important human touch is. and you're experiencing human touch in utero, which is wonderful.
The twins begin to interact at about 16 weeks. They're already gesturing and touching each other. And of course, that develops into a separate language that many of us have, particularly on the identical side. And it does enable us to learn to experience a type of love that is almost indescribable. It's a love of self and the other. Freud, we would say in object relations, where the object is the self. Yeah. And so we bring to the world a tremendous capacity to teach love. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have been blessed to have an excellent psychotherapy practice. As you mentioned, I followed the work of Dr. Carl Jung, dreams, archetypes, etc., depth psychology. And so I'm able to go deeper inside, I think, and bond more quickly with my clients because of my experience as a twin.
Amazing. It's fascinating, and I could literally talk to you all day about it. And I'm sure you have a million stories to talk about your special connection with your twin, Melinda. And I'd love to hear them. But let's first talk about your book, The Tao of Twins, A Heroine's Journey. Let's give the folks at home the big picture. What's the book about?
Well, at the age of 39, I received a phone call from my sister Anne, who's 7 years younger. Melinda and I were the firstborn. Actually, I was the second-born twin. I was lucky I wasn't left out in the wilderness, like many were. Yeah. And my sister Anne said to me, I have the hardest thing to tell you that I'm ever going to tell you. Melinda is dead. And so at 39, my life changed completely. I went from my primary identification as a twin, my primary archetype, one could say, that had been aroused in me for this lifetime, to losing everything.
Like losing part of yourself.
On Earth was my life. And so I can't explain to you other than to say that I became invisible. I was no longer a twin. I was no longer anyone. I was so debilitated by grief that I could not function. I just had no idea, Mr. Crawford, how I was going to go on in this lifetime. If I could have breathed life back into her, I would have. If I had known how to reach her, if I knew where she had gone, I would have joined her. I would have suicided in order to do so, to be honest with you, because I did not want to stay in a world where she was not. I could not imagine how to continue to go on one more minute, never mind one more day. And I lived in the most intense pain. And having worked with Dr. Nancy Siegel out at UC Fullerton, she says the worst grief is the twin loss, followed by the partner loss, followed by the child loss. And so she worked with a lot of so-called twin-less twins, but we aren't less, we're more actually, because we have to incorporate the other one. And so out of that pain, I decided that I would have to figure out where she was so that I could eventually join her as long, as I could continue to live, I would. And I had to be assured that wherever I was going after life, that I would, after death, that I would find her. And so I began by studying the great world religions to figure out where she had gone, and also look deeply into myself. I started studying a lot of Jungian psychology. I got my PhD. I studied the dreams of twins. I chronicled all my dreams because I thought the answers might be deep within me. And of course, there are archetypes that have been innervated since then. Many memories of her. Particularly Lake Huron, where we grew up together, and castles and seagulls and minnows. And so I lived through these symbols in order to find her beneath and behind them. And so then one day I woke up and I said, oh my goodness, I lived. I survived. Unbelievable. How did I do it? I never thought I could. And then the next thing I knew, I said, oh my goodness, now I have to reach back and help the others. And so I call this a heroine's journey. You know, the famous Carl Jung, of course, and his the neo-Jungian Joseph Campbell. But it was not the same as the male journey. The male journey is more the Knights of the Round Table who go off looking for the Holy Grail. Of course, they're looking for something within also. But the heroine's journey is closer to finding the inner self, the complexity that lies within, and also the wholeness that lies within. And so that's what I sought, how to become whole. I, lived the perfect heroine journey, the magical childhood, the fall, the confrontation with a physical death, the time in the underworld, having to come to grips with the demons within, facing my own shadow, and eventually coming back to the world. And I knew what I had to bring back, not only a knowledge of my inner self and the integration of my twin, but I also had to bring back a story about twins so that other twins could be understood, because we are not understood.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. When you lost Melinda, I'm sure you felt like you lost half of yourself, because I feel like in many ways from what you described, you felt the two of you actually made one super person, really, like you said, stronger, better than a single. Yeah, there you go, flexing the muscles. Now that you've taken this journey, are you more at peace? Are you more connected to Melinda? Do you communicate with her? Does she communicate with you? Tell us about that.
Oh, yes. We communicate all the time. She sends nature. Ordinarily, it will be a white butterfly, sometimes a yellow butterfly.
Yeah.
She'll send a seagull. They were our playmates on Lake Huron. She'll send a flower, and I'll know that she's speaking to me. And primarily, she comes in dreams. I dream about her more frequently now. And I won't tell you the ending of the book. You have to read all the way through to the last line. But she has come back to assure me in dreams, and this is quite common in dreams, that dream messengers will come back and say, I am well. And this is what the other twins have told me in my dream studies, that the twin comes back to assure us that she is still here for us, and that we are still loved in the same way, and that we are still twins.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thought. I know my mother comes to me in dreams. I lost my mother back in 2004. And particularly when she first died, I had such vivid dreams about her. And when she was dying, she had such vivid dreams of everybody in her life, her aunts that were kind to her, her cousins, her mother. So the dream world is certainly not fully understand. And I know that's a book or a theme you have also tapped upon in Do Twins Dream Twin Dreams? When Melinda was alive, did you guys have simultaneous dreams sometimes? Did you have twin dreams?
Yes, we did. Yeah. And the other twins I've studied for the dissertation would have not only simultaneous dreams. That's quite common with twins, where one's getting married and the other one is the bridesmaid, and they